Hi, my name is Rainey, and I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. And I want to talk about something really controversial. I want to talk about the fact that BDSM is the only thing that has helped me through thick and thin to feel better. And now that I don't have it in my life, I am miserable. I have had PTSD now it has been diagnosed officially for 8 years. And it was the most scary moment of my life when I was told, you have PTSD. PTSD. It was from one moment in my life. And I had suffered from child abuse when I was younger, being put in situations that were filmed and photographed that I did not want to be in, things that were very harsh in my life that I didn't get these bad things from. I didn't get PTSD from. I didn't repress them. I just dealt with them. And then I got PTSD, and it was from one of the worst moments of my life, and I was just shattered. I would be out of body looking in on myself. I would be having these meltdowns and these panic attacks and these PTSD flashbacks where people would be talking to me and they would be the people who hurt me, and I would be hiding inside of cabinets and under tables, trying to get away from being essayed and having an attempt at my life. It is one of the scariest things in the world, and I've never said this on camera, but it is one of the scariest feelings in the entire world to have somebody look you in the eyes, to stare at you and try to strangle the life out of you and not care. And the more that you're not alive, the more that you're not dying and that you're still alive, but you're not as alive as before, it gives them pleasure. And they keep trying to take that from you, your life, and they stare into you. It is something that just changes you. And for me, having a gun in the situation, having it be two people that were much larger than me with guns, who took me away somewhere, all of that was horrible, but it was seeing somebody look at you that way. And I wish I would never have seen that again in my life. And I was fine for many years. And then I ended up getting into an abusive relationship where I saw that look in someone's eyes again. And all the work and all the effort and the many, many years I had done to get my PTSD to a better place had collapsed in that moment because I saw it again. He actually hurt me worse. He fractured my voice box, just like your Adam's apple, and did damage to my throat and the back of my spine. He also, in the same instance, broke my nose, which has been reset, but it still has issues. Looks okay, but it isn't. I have pictures, but I can't insert them for obvious reasons here, but I could show them to people if they needed to see or wanted to. So I'm very open about this. He ended up fracturing my skull. I have a dent in it, if you can see. It's here. I don't know if you can see with the lighting, but there's a hole in my skull that'll always be there. Now it's super noticeable, at least to me, that I've pointed it out. It's got like a bump, and it literally cracked my skull. From kicking me with a boot in the face. Shoe, I should say. It was like a boot-like shoe. But anyways, it was just a terrible event. And being beaten and strangled again brought back a lot. And I can say I'm at the point where I don't have nightmares or flashbacks about him anymore because I will not let him have that power over me. But I still have flashbacks every day about the attack that happened to me 8 years ago. Well, it happened to me 9 years ago, but the one I was diagnosed with PTSD over 8 years ago. And a lot of people judged me for liking BDSM always because I had the things that happened to me in life. And I just wanted to say that it is for people who are in the little space, so people who like to age play, role play being someone young, DDLG, ABDL, I believe it is, adult baby diaper play, or I'm not sure how exactly it is because I've never done that part myself. But people who like to play being younger, I like to be an age regressor. I like to play being a little, but I've never done like the adult baby, like the diaper type of play. But being in a little mindset, getting to color, getting to consent to safely and gently and softly do things in a sexual way at that age, and getting to choose to do those things and let somebody touch you that way when you're in that mindset. Taking that back, saying, hey, I'm going to decide that it's okay to be touched at this age because someone forced that to be taken away from me, and I want to feel like I've gotten that back in a sense. And there are so few people out there that are right to be the other end, though, to be the person that you trust. And I think that's where I went wrong for so many years. I would play with people or do things with people and try to trust them to be the other side of that, to be the daddy in the role or the mommy or the whatever. I would never be okay having a mommy in the role. So I also like to be the male role with women. I've been very open about that. Also with gay men who are comfortable with me being non-binary. And with people who are non-binary, whatever it may be, I like being that role. So I couldn't be a little for a female. But for the males in life, I feel like it needs to be someone specific, somebody who can feel your trauma in a sense and be willing to know that they're taking away your pain in that instance and care enough for that little to be able to play with them to truly be a good daddy in a sense. And that's the same thing I need to do to the littles that are in my life, the males or females that I have taken care of. And I feel like being a counselor, being a life coach, I'm really good at that. I try to be, because I can guide people through things that they need help with. I can talk to people. I can help them get to where they need to be. And it is such a rewarding and spiritual and wonderful connection. And I'm sorry that I gave it to so many people that it was just sex for them. But I am glad that I've experienced it because it is something that has helped me heal a lot. I think that with sexual assault, it is something that takes so much away from you. And if you can't have a way, with PTSD specifically, if you cannot have a way to get it back, to feel like you are taking that moment, whether they put their hands on your neck, whether they put something to your head and threatened you, whether it was words that were said that you need your partner to say. You need them to verbally play these words out, play a scene out for you, and not vary from the scene. You need them to play that out for you. I think it's really important that you're with a partner that knows that that's critical, because if you have PTSD, your mind is already in constant turmoil, and to deprive it from something that's an emotional release, that you could relive something that is so horrible and traumatic, and you could give yourself peace for the moment even, and then after you could fall in that person's arms and they can take care of you. Or if it's a scene that gets a little bit rough where you have marks or anything, that person can then take care of you and nurture you, and they can do everything that you would want somebody to do if you were hurt. They can get you through that pain, and it's a pleasure in the pain because they're not hitting you or choking you to kill you. They're doing it in a way that is pleasurable. It feels nice. When you go through pain to a level where your voice box is cracked and you almost die, you have to find pleasure in pain. That's why when I was younger, I didn't have PTSD again when I was younger, but I had anxiety. I had severe depression. I was never somebody who fit the bipolar spectrum or anything along that, because I was very not mousy, because I wasn't. I was very blunt about my feelings, but I'm very even in my emotions. I don't have an up spike and a down spike. I was very evenly low. Like, I was sad all the time, and there was no up spike and happy, woo. It was very like low stream for me. It was like I was sad, but I want people to feel happy, but I always felt down. So I'd be like the calm, like I want to read and write, and I'm gonna go running, and I'm gonna put all my love into work, but I was sad all the time. And it was because I was depressed, and it was because I wasn't dealing with these things that happened to me, and I was sad because of it. And then when I was older and the event happened to me that gave me PTSD, anxiety came in with that depression, and that's something I hadn't really went through. And wow, having anxiety, depression, and then PTSD all together, it brought up a lot. Like, in the past, I had things that I didn't even realize, like, how much it was just getting control over the things I could control. You know, I didn't have control over what happened to me when I was little, so I would control food. I had severe issues with food and eating, and EDs, and ED specifically, one that merged a little into another, that still acts up to this day. It's never fully gone. I had issues with sharp and shiny things when I was younger, and it was a way to release. I liked in a way, the tattoos, piercings, like I liked body modifications to release that, to have a way to release the tension because things hurt, and I needed a way to just choose to be hurt in a good way. And it's not this bad, evil, taboo thing. It's something it's like meditating in an extreme sense. And it's a headspace. Some people aren't in a headspace in it, it's just sex. And it's just role playing, it's just fun, and it's just doing something, and it doesn't go deeper than that, and that's okay too. But for people who truly have PTSD, who truly have something going on deep in there, that really need to let loose, it's a headspace. And if your partner can be there and care enough to be there and care for you and give you that, it changes your life. And I haven't had that in my life in a long time. And I was in a situation where I could, for a very brief moment, sorry, I keep messing with my eye. I don't see very well out of my right eye, so my left eye having something in front of it is freaking me out a little bit. But anyways, my life has been very without any BDSM. I had a brief moment where I had a sense of it, and then getting that taken away, and trying to be open, trying to talk, and being shut down. And then emotionally, I'm also I feel very, in the people who are here in person with me, I feel very shut down. I've got a lot of good people that are a text away. I've got a lot of good friends and people who are in that space away. But for like people that you can physically touch, like my inner circle, it's like there's a void, and it's so sad that it's so misunderstood and it's so not seen. And I feel like if I can get on here and just talk, I don't care if I seem like a freak or a weirdo, or like I have mommy issues and daddy issues, and my mom was an awful person and my dad just wasn't there. Like, sure I do, but that's okay. There's a way to fix them. There's a way to work through them in counseling. There's a way to be okay with your problems. You just have to learn how to manage them. And I'm here to talk openly, and I'm here to not shrink anybody's brain, not do anything like that. I'm here to talk about myself and sit here and be vulnerable and say, hey, I might be able to help, but I also have these problems of my own, and these are the things that are kind of off kilter that I do and that I've done that have saved me in the years that I felt unsavable. I'm having to revert back to doing beginner workbooks now because my PTSD is so bad, because for the first time I haven't had those outlets in my life. For the first time since I got diagnosed with PTSD. And that says a lot. So please, next time you see something that's weird or off or different, give it a chance. And also, if there's anything that you guys want to know about, from EDs to specifics about what happened, to sharp and shiny things, to past issues, to anything, to updates about life, to anxiety, depression, medications, anything, things I've tried, things I haven't, substance abuse, things that, sobriety. I've been sober now. I am sober now, obviously, for a long time. Anything that you want to know, I would love to help, and I would love to be kind of like life's guinea pig, because I've done it all in a sense. You might as well learn from my mistakes rather than making them without at least knowing a landscape of it. So please feel free to ask if you have any questions, and know that I care. I just want to make the world an easier place for you all.